Okay, so lame, terrible jump cut because I don't know anything about editing, very little, bits and pieces of what I heard. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotze lechem min haaretz. Right. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen lechem. Okay. Now, here is the step. Shining a pair of black leather, smooth black leather boots, weather condition. I use it. Alright. Leather conditioner. This is how this goes. May or may not wear protective gloves in order to do it. Take one Scott rag, as I'm showing. Make folds until you got it to, let's see, a half, a quarter to an eighth. Okay, like this. I'm showing here. You get the lotion, and again, I usually start with the tongues instead of skipping around. Carefully get it inside, squeeze it out, and I still continue to go in the direction, in even directions with the grains, with the leather. Start rubbing it in. You could see some of the dye is coming off, so it'll look better. Make sure you get all around the same way you did with the dye, the same way you did with the Lexol pH. Neutral percentage of hydrogen ions. It's actually safer to use that than water. It helps clean it. This helps moisturize your boots. This will help them flex better. They'll look a lot better. You'll be able to perform better. Say for somebody like, let's see who, I don't know, Nikki MGTV, or Donnie Klein, DWK videos, so on and so forth. Say on a Nimitz or Ford class aircraft carrier, someone's flight deck certified to be able to move around easier. You'd be surprised how easy it is to get an injury in an industrial environment where vehicles are moving. Me, I'm a mom back, I'm a garbage man. Primarily what I do at the current time is working in a transfer station where garbage trucks come to and from and go in and out of in a professional corporate union environment, and they are dead serious. You excuse the pun, dead serious about their safety precautions. They're not going to get hurt. Now, like I'm showing here on the uppers, you go in the direction, you don't go around. Again, the analogy and the comparison to the Karate Kid movies and the Cobra Kai show on YouTube, Netflix, whatever, get it on there, you go back and forth in the same direction. You don't go around and wax on, wax off. Not circles. Saddle soap? I don't know. I've never used that. The better the leather you have, as opposed to footwear and crap that's marketed under the name Brahma at Walmart, or Herman's Leather Survivors, Northlake, so on, the better the results that you're going to get. After you're done doing this, you don't have to wait quite as long, not necessarily an hour or longer, for it to work its way inside. But you do have to keep rubbing on it for some time. Edge dressing, let's not get ahead of ourselves. $20 pair of pants. You don't care about the pants. Didn't go through, didn't get on the socks. It's not so bad. Some kind of, I don't know, a work or a suit that you wear on a white collar job or something like that at a desk in an office. Yeah, that's some kind of military tunic or trousers. That's different. That's a lot different. If that's something that you have to go through some kind of like big time inspection, I wouldn't know what the consequences of screwing that up are. I sure as expletive would not want to find out. Sure as heck wouldn't want to find out. Up and down on this. And around here in the front. Really quick. Generate a little bit of heat, but not too much doing it. Just don't really seem to know how to make speed ramping on a video, or I lost the receipt to my registration to Adobe Premiere Elements to do the videos, and it worked. And nobody seems to want to give a lot of good advice on how to use the editing software, make it go quicker. But you need only take your hand and go to the right hand side of your screen, no correction, left to right, and just simply zoom forward or speed it up. You don't need my sorry behind to tell you to do that. If it's boring you, or you hear I'm going on a rant and you don't like what I'm telling you, then by all means simply, but you like the video and you like the content, then fast forward in it, or just drag across the screen and go to the little icon you see, and just go ahead, and you could go into the little cogwheel and the settings, and you could speed it up to I think at least 2 times as fast. If you have to. That, like, I don't know, I once saw somebody make a video on a 99, 2000, or 2001 Buick LeSabre, and somebody commented, don't you just love about how to change the taillights and do a little maintenance yourself? And somebody commented, don't you just love how this doesn't show you anything at all? And that's what it did. The guy, whoever that was, kept talking and talking and talking, but not actually showing someone how to get the 11 millimeter socket-sized deep well sockets, and how to get the assembly out, how to change the light. Videos that just suck. They're not necessarily intended as clickbait, but they're really bad. To me, when a YouTube video is really bad is when not only does the editing suck like mine does now that I have it, but don't know how to expletive use it properly. They literally don't tell you either bad advice, bad advice, no advice at all, because they're wasting your time and time is precious, or bad advice. Worse yet, telling you to do things you shouldn't do. Telling you to do things that are VODA. Telling you to do... I don't necessarily want to use the acronyms that go with VODA. I don't want this to have to click this to be 18 and over. And a few acronyms I made to myself that are similar, that are profane, and use cuss words as well. If you're in a rush, in a hurry, I don't know really what to tell you in order to do this, but you still got to take it one step at a time. I do have a mechanical shoe and boot leather polisher that I could turn on and go around in circles with, which I'm yet to use. Haven't done that. Not exactly sure. And I hope, I promise I'll try to make a video in the future showing how that works. If you can do so, then you could greatly reduce the amount of time. Perhaps it could be modified, and you could take those glass polishing cloths I was talking about sometime earlier and use that to do it. I think I've pretty much got this. The inside, the outside, the uppers. Carefully get that in there. On the sides, shank, tongues, back and forth on the toe box. as such. Rear heel padding along with the boot strap. And then ultimately, because, I mean, in order to really keep a good pair of boots looking really good, you never want to scratch or nick them on anything. Eventually, in the end, I'm going to try and use Express Shine. Stuff doesn't go real far. Meaning it doesn't, well, the cost ratio of what it costs to get it on there is not real great. Saw one video of some lady using hairspray on the boots. That's probably not a good idea. I wouldn't want to find out that it could screw them up because the polymers and the chemicals could dry on it and knock them off. Kind of like if you read a book that I got, like Motor Books or Peterson Publishing's How to Detail Cars. And then if you want, you could get synthetic automatic transmission fluid and completely cover a vehicle, regardless of its level of how deep and dark the color is, and cover it all, and it'll shine brighter than anything on the face of this earth. A couple minutes, give it about a minute and a half, 5 minutes. Every dirt, lint, and dust particle on the face of the earth will collect on it and destroy the paint. God knows how hard it'll be to get it off of it. Or you can get lacquer, toluene containing gloss coats. And you could take that and spray it on the interior. And then it won't look clean, it'll look defaced, like somebody had used Car Lot or somebody that put an ad on Craigslist to try to sell a vehicle and then made it look like fake. Like I saw some guy do that he had a pickup truck parked in Denellen, New Jersey, and he got angry at me and started cussing at me. You're wasting my time. No, that guy was wasting the rest of the world's time. You can tell if you're focusing, you're looking, what somebody's done. If they've gotten some kind of black spray paint, and even the cheapest one at that, maybe acrylic or intended for wood or plastic, and put that hog wild inside an engine compartment without even cleaning the engine compartment, sprayed the battery cover, the battery, the wires, sensitive electronics. But with the boots, again, come off of the rant, tell you that you really want to at least use professional products, even if they're not the ones that I'm showing you in this video, or that other kid that's got I forgot what his name was, over a third of a million videos on his. I forgot what he used, but you want to use what's intended for it, what's made for the purpose of doing this. In fact, if I go quick enough with this, relatively quick, I might even be able to try to buff them out. Now, right side first, and now I'm doing left side second, left boot second. Okay. To not scratch them when you store them, like those boots over there, you want to put them back inside the original box and take padding from the Scott rags or the paper towels, and then completely surround them with it so that they don't accidentally scratch each other. That's what I do to keep them shining and keep them from not destroying each other. You could kind of polish out blemishes, but you can't you can't polish out gouges or nicks like that there, this here. Kind of like on a car, you can't clean, detail, compound, polish, and clay bar and make a dent go away, or a scratch or a smash. You can replace a part. You can do body work. You can do refinishing, but it's never really going to make that much of a difference. Let's see, where's this bell hill? I got a little bit of a gouge on this. Damage the leather a little. A lot of what peasandcorn.com and the internet offers is stuff that's intended for saddlery, horses, equine use, belts. I guess, I don't know, that a security guard or a cop would wear, or somebody subscribing to the Whacker Credo. That whole thing. But even though I repeated something somebody else made on a website, and sometimes people think it's funny, and sometimes they don't. Or at least it's not funny anymore. I don't know if this is necessarily the best video about China boots. Again, that kid with over a third of a million views, say 350, 60,000, something like that, is good. It's really good. Get it that way. I don't know if it necessarily stays that way, because I never really have extensively used shoe polish. But I've used Express SC Johnson Kiwi Express Shine sponges pretty well if you're in a hurry to get it to look a certain way. Again, it doesn't really mean a whole hill of beans if you are wearing low maintenance Poromir or Porver vinyl, Poromiric, like boots similar to these that were made by Thorogood. Or Bates, the zippers on the sides, never really was a fan of them. I went to my nephew. My nephew's Catholic Holy Communion. Went there with a pair of Bates service Oxfords that came apart on me. They got hot and they started going all over the ground. The concrete going in there, and then, oh my God, into the Roman Catholic Church and making a mess, and I'm just sitting there with this dumb look on my face, embarrassed and in pain from walking on these hard shoes, thinking like, who's going to notice me? It reminded me of, I don't know, the early scenes of Pee-wee's Big Adventure with Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, and the actor Ralph Seymour that played that was in the movie Rain Man, talking back and forth with Tom Cruise on the phone. Charlie, what are we going to do, Charlie? And when he gets particularly the gum, and he offers Francis the gum, and the two both grown man-childs and Pee Wee doesn't like him, and he's eating the gum, and it's coming out of his mouth like black, like crude oil or slime. That's what that reminds me of. My nephew Nicholas still remembers that. That was weird to say the least. But with actual Vibram, whatever color it is, be it like that, like I was saying earlier about Fire and Ice, tread pattern like this, 360 Fire and Ice, or the, what do you call this Sierra type pattern, or the classic Cletterlift type pattern. It used to be on the combat boots, and is still on Timberlands. Yeah, that's not going to just simply come off on you. It'll wear off over time. Realistically, the longer you do this, if it becomes a labor of love, that's a good thing if you have time for it. The better results that you're going to get. So I believe I got it dry on the other right-hand side of this, the right boot. Started with try and polish this. Now, that's sunk in. Back and forth with it. See how well it comes out. I don't like this. It's not working that well. Get myself those length this glass, super soft glass polishing cloths. See. Okay, in that jump cut, I got a little bit of a confession to make. I did take some considerable amount of time doing this before I turned the camera back on. This is a glass polishing cloth. These will work too. Scott rags or paper towels. This will work better. You should have 100% cotton. It should be smooth. Terry towels, washcloths that you get at a Walmart or Home Depot, I don't think are a good idea. Home Depot is hit or miss of what they sell. The internet source off Amazon that I got these from don't seem to have them either. To me, this is the best way to do this. Pretty much straight. You could kind of go around a little bit with them, just about the same way that you use the Scott rags with the leather, with Kiwi leather conditioner. Sometime, and I'll be honest with you, okay, this will take you some time to do. And even be a little more frank, I experimented with this Dremel polishing tool here. Actually, no, I'm doing that wrong. When you use one of these things, you want where it says the label, the vise, probably going forward. Whenever you use a grinder, an electric grinder, an electric polisher, an orbital sander, whatever you're doing, how you manipulate gravity, like the way I showed in the other videos. What was I doing? Explaining about taking a pine board and putting it in a joiner with the end grain facing down and the board going up, and being warned repeatedly throughout a whole year, marking period or a year in high school, from the wood shop teacher telling them not to do that, it'll violently whip around. when I was talking, if you look back, I'm pretty sure it's the video with the bits on the router trying to resharpen the bits. And doing that and taking the, and I did a horrible job at that, that didn't work anyway, but taking the lubricant from the chainsaw elastomer lubricant, similar to what goes into a harmonic balancer or a torsional damper in the front of an engine, that can help lubricate the bit, as it does it the same way it carefully spits and oozes it out with the chainsaw. Okay, let's get to the point with this. Your gravity, when you have got a polisher locked into a vise, or you got something stationary like this, you've got to make sure that you know which way it's turning. In this case, it's going that way, counterclockwise from the front. I call Triffword and Ravword, that's a whole separate subject. Here and here. If you go the wrong way and you go inside, like for example, places like this, watch this. Don't get stuck, or that way, and it can flip in the other direction. Whatever you're using. Accidentally hurt, God forbid, you got a grinder going a couple thousand times a minute, so powerful like that, you could hurt, maim, or wound yourself with it. You gotta be careful with that. See, I've done this a lot, so I don't know how good this actually looks on camera. You would find that the results of this actually look better on a cloudy day as opposed to a sunny day due to manipulation of light. I guess it's Memorial Day through most of this production. Hopefully I'll have it released on that. Whoever's in that parade here in this town that I'm in, I guess they'd be benefiting from it if they had shoes, boots like this for weather and they were trying to shine it. I don't know, maybe not. Now comes using heel and edge dressing. When you work with this, you've got to go up and down with it. There is a tendency, one way or another, you got to take a couple minutes in order to get this stuff out. And you really need, here, watch this. Look at that. Now look at this crap on my finger. That's, like I said, the Phoebe's letter dying, really nasty. You may have to go up and down with this for a while until you get it in its own foam dabber, whatever you call that, and squeeze it in order to get it to ooze out of it. It may take a little while. Ah, it went quick. How do you like that? Sometimes there are miracles. You slowly put this onto the edges and the heels, as such. See? Don't squeeze too hard. Now look at that mess it's already making. Why don't do that somewhere that you care about. That your parents' expensive linoleum floor, or a kitchen, or a bed, God forbid, a bedroom. It takes a while for this stuff to dry. Or say some kid at some kind of military academy, Eastern Pennsylvania, or something of that nature. This goes on here like this. Very carefully make sure all of it is on the sides of the Vibram soles and that none of it accidentally gets into the leather. Won't look good. Put so much on that other pair of boots, I guess if you do this long enough, it doesn't even come off anymore. But it works perfectly fine. And that USMC black stuff, really don't think you need it that badly. That's just my opinion. But something I've experienced is when these go bad, you could still have a lot in it and the foam doesn't work. Maybe there might be a way, I'm thinking right now, to cut that open and get into it and manipulate more of it to put it on if you got something to apply it with. But once it dries, it dries. I've tried. You won't be able to get it out of the dispenser anymore. I've tried to, like an ink blot pen in a bingo hall, being held at a church or an Elks Club or Knights of Columbus, VFW, American Legion, or something like that. Doesn't really work that great. It will stop coming out. It's possible that if you put it in another, like a garden hose, a basin, a wash basin faucet, you may be able to clean a lot of it out and then dry it and continue to use it. Maybe not. When it comes out like a foam, just simply move the foam around. As such. As far as I could tell from looking on the internet, the only people I see doing this as good or better than me is Citadel Military Academy of South Carolina. You look at those pictures, those young men and women, that's pretty wild. They're doing that with pure leather. There ain't no low maintenance vinyl or patent leather being done with that. You don't believe me? You Google it, you search it, you get the same results. Okay, now I'm going to do the right side boot. Not even sure how much total time is actually spent doing this. Might go for a half hour. I actually do have some editing now. Not that good at it. I might not have even loaded it properly. I might have gotten ripped off by the software company, the Best Buy I bought it from. I don't know. Then again, maybe not. Maybe I'm just dumb and ignorant to how to install it and and definitely how to operate it and take advantage of it. Make a way better video, add sound, add special effects, subtitles, people that want privacy to figure out how to delete them out of the side and get that out of there so that for privacy matters, so on and so forth. None of that. I'm in a public easement, First Amendment auditor crap, and we'll take it and wave it in the lens in people's faces like they're Alec Baldwin or something like that. But that's a whole separate topic for a whole separate video. Filming and making audio and video recordings are a Sixth Amendment issue, not a First Amendment issue. To sum that up, the Sixth Amendment issue broadly covers the right to a fair trial. In order to get that fair trial, you have the right to get exculpatory evidence, basically meaning that proves that you're innocent in case someone lies and says you did something you didn't do to get in trouble. First Amendment, generally defined as freedom of expression of opinion that may or may not include speech. Like this goofy, silly-looking wannabe U.S. Army physical training shirt with incoherent human writing on it. Sort of, kind of, yeah, but not really. Or why a lot of what is in this room is purple. And those goofy utilities or combat fatigues they got on. Stuff like that. Religion, broadly. And when I say may or may not, it's not an absolute right to make any statement that you want to make. You can't threaten people, say you're going to hurt them, make violent ultimatums, especially if they're unnecessary. Personally, I think people already know that. They just lie to themselves if they're intelligent enough because they want to blur the lines psychologically. Back to the boots. Just about got this down. Okay, now I think I got these edges dressed. Just got a little bit more to go after this dries, however long that may take. And then I'll show what it looks like in the camera when I'm walking around. And then try and make it look a little bit better with this Kiwi Express Shine Sponge. I think I'm going to try and cut this in the future to get into it. Try and get it on there with other foam. So, and like I said, keep saying, repeating, saying over and over again, look at this mess. Look at what that does if you don't keep it if you don't protect the ground floor or whatever it is around you that you care about from getting stained by it. If you're careful and you have patience, you can get it to look really nice.